This is going to be tomorrow's morning brief video. I'm just doing a really quick analysis is what I'm looking at in the markets. So I've looked at the top 5 holdings for the S&P 500 and did a breakdown chart with a conglomerate chart of those 5 top holdings. Meta, Apple, Microsoft, Google, and IBM are the 5 tech holdings. They're the biggest weighting on the S&P 500. Okay, if you zoom, as you can see here, we've got this. Uh, Regression line that we've been trading in since the first of the year. Okay, first of the year regression line. And what I want to point out here is, if you zoom in here on the, let's say the 1 hour. Okay, we did close on the bearish. We are closing on the bearish side of this year's regression line on those 5 names, the conglomerate name, and we're inside of last week's. That's weekly anchored value area. We are back inside of last week's value area. So we're not in the price discovery to the upside going into tomorrow's CPI. Giving us a little bit of a bearish tone to the 5 biggest names on the S&P 500 going into tomorrow's data. I did add a secondary line off of the August lows. And as you can see today, we did not even manage to get up and tag that regression line. So we have a breakaway from that regression line on those 5 top names on the S&Ps. Okay, what you can see here, the 5 biggest names on the S&P for the financials. So these are the 5 financials biggest names on the S&P. And this is from the beginning of the year here, the regression line. And what we've done here, we're into this top right here. We zoom in here on the weekly time frame, 1 hour. We're currently holding outside in price discovery, potentially to the upside, into what could be, should be resistance, going into tomorrow's CPI data. So a big tell tomorrow is if we start feeling this gap on this conglomerate to the downside and go back into the side of range. We are on the bullish side of price discovery. So anything above, like 1192, 1193 here on this conglomerate chart is still bullish financials, but there is plenty of opportunity to come down. We'll see what happens here. We are not accepting price back inside of last week's range yet, but this is something to keep on watch tomorrow morning to see if the financials are getting any type of negative response to tomorrow's CPI. And this is actually financials will be probably impacted more on CPI than other areas in the market. So this is really one of our top watches tomorrow. So our healthcare sector, top 5 healthcare names. Healthcare is a defensive sector. It's really been taken on the chin. We have a head and shoulders pattern, and we're right back into the neckline on that head and shoulders. I had to go on a longer time frame for the regression line on this one, all the way back to 2021, to give me a better chart of what's going on because it's come down so far. So we're right at very, very critical support on the healthcare sector. So, it is the 3rd largest holding on the S&Ps. It does hold a lot of weight, in relation to the S&Ps. So we definitely need to keep this on watch. Okay, guys, this is our consumer discretionary holdings on the S&P. This is currently what's going on here. So if you are a bull, this is the area that I would be looking for a bullish breakout on tomorrow's information that would push the S&Ps higher. As you can see, these 5 names have had a very negative impact on, it's the 4th largest sector on the S&P 500. Starbucks, AMC, Best Buy, Home Depot, and Nike. Home Depot reported this morning. They rallied off of their numbers. Okay, so we definitely got to keep this on watch here to see if this is going to reverse higher, and that would likely propel the S&P, be supportive for the S&Ps. But right now, it's had a very long consolidation here. It does look like it could potentially be set up to rally these names on the S&P. Now, that being said, the five top holdings on the NASDAQ, okay, NASDAQ 100, NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Uh, correction. NVIDIA isn't on that list. The five top holdings on XLK: NVIDIA, Microsoft, Apple, Avgo, Amazon. NVIDIA is not part of the list. Uh, oh, yeah, that's on the S&Ps. Yeah, NVIDIA is a part on the Nasdaq. Yeah, okay. So this is the top five holdings on the Nasdaq. We'll go over here. Sorry. Sorry about that. Now, I do want to point out what we're going on here. Using the regression line, we lost the regression line, and we are below the volume point of control from last week. So these five names are giving us a warning of weakness in these megatechs on the Nasdaq going into tomorrow's numbers. So we've actually lost one tier of support today, uh, or so far this week. We have not regained it. So be very mindful here. You know, we have lost a tier of support and we're down into this 3 week, currently trying to defend this 3 week tier of support. Okay, so we're kind of in a little bit of a limbo here. So let's definitely keep this on watch going forward here. We do have a breakout trigger right there. We came right into that and we rallied off of that earlier today. So that is supportive, uh, potentially supportive here. So our breakout trigger was right there. So on this chart, so be very mindful right about there. And that happened today around what time was that? 1 o'clock this afternoon. They came in and defended it and saved that trigger. So definitely we got to keep this on watch tomorrow morning. Okay, guys, you see this trend right here? These are the top five holdings of uh, XLV. XLV, that's your, so be very mindful of that. And you see what we have going on here. This is our regression line all the way from 2020 on the healthcare space. We came up to the bottom of this, tested this today, and we failed. We failed to get back into uh, find buyers up here. So this is a defensive sector, but this is warning us of continued weakness here in the healthcare space. This chart represents the top holdings in XLF. This is our financial space. We're top, top, top. So we're in a potential multiple three-tier top here on the XLF. So be very mindful of that. We'll go into our 1 hour chart showing our weekly chart, and you can see what's going on here. We're just barely holding last week's um, trading range. So we gapped up last week. We're right there at the top of last week's range going into tomorrow's data. Odds do favor. We're going to lose support tomorrow morning. So let's definitely keep this on watch. We obviously we're into resistance there. So definitely something to keep on in mind here that financials could be a big driving force tomorrow's session. Now on the potentially bullish side, this represents the top five holdings of XLK. That's our technology, Spider Technology ETF. Okay. Obviously, it's not into resistance yet. We've got a breakout trigger. You know, we just started our legs up here, so this is a bullish pattern, potential bullish pattern. So this is a cup and handle, potential breakout right here, higher here on the XLK on these five names. So NVIDIA, Apple, Microsoft, Broadcom, and Salesforce. Those names are potentially breaking out of a cup and handle pattern on the bullish side. And if you go down the 1 hour to see the volume profile, this is actually holding out better. So we're still above last week's high, pivot high. So, uh, so be very mindful that we closed right near last week's pivot high as well. So we are still slightly more bullish than bearish. So we saw on these five names, but we haven't really gone very far away from last week's value area. So be mindful of that. It is a bullish pattern until it's not. But yeah, we are going into the CPI tomorrow with a bullish pattern on the XLK. So we'll see how it plays out. We did have Skyworks report tonight. Their initial reaction wasn't that great. That could have a negative impact on Apple. So we definitely want to keep that in the back of our mind. This is a very quick trading range uh, using fibs. So, uh, we could very easily be coming back down quite fast, in relation with these five names. So be very mindful of that. It's the move down's likely to be a lot faster than the move up, given the scenario that I'm giving here. Okay. So at any rate, good luck tomorrow, and I will be working. So just thought I'd give you a heads up, a different way of looking at things in the markets.